The Yoga Guru talks.
Mental and spiritual practice that originated in India. The word yoga derives from Sanskrit and means to join or unite, symbolizing the union of body and consciousness. Today, it is practiced in various forms around the world and continues to grow in popularity. The International Day of Yoga aims to raise awareness worldwide of the many benefits of practicing yoga. While the social distancing measures adopted by countries to fight the COVID-19 pandemic have shut down yoga communal spaces, yoga practitioners have turned to home practices and online yoga resources. Yoga is a powerful tool to deal with the stress of uncertainty and isolation, as well as to maintain physical well being. But yoga is more than a physical activity. In the words of one of the most famous practitioners, the late Sri B.K.S. Iyer said, yoga cultivates the ways of maintaining a balanced attitude in day to day life and endorses skill in the performance of one's action. Now let us know what is the objective of International Day of Yoga. So, the objective can be to make the people aware about the benefits of yoga and connect them with nature, to reduce the rate of health challenging diseases in the world. It also aims to develop a habit of meditation for peace of mind, self awareness, which is necessary to survive in a stress free environment. Now, let us focus on the benefits of yoga. Yoga not only provides mental peace but also generates a peaceful environment. It is also mandatory to do yoga as our lifestyle is changing day by day. It can also help us to deal with the climatic change. The respiration process become healthy. Energy and power are also developed in the body via yoga. It also helps in reducing weight and keep the cardio system healthy. No doubt, yoga helps in reducing the health challenging diseases all over the world. It connects people with each other, helps in practicing meditation and getting relief from stress. It provides link between protection of health and sustainable health development. Therefore, we should practice yoga regularly and make it as a part of our lives.
नमस्कार आप सभी का। आज हमारा अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योगा दिवस के शुभ अवसर पे आज स्पेड की टीम एक नया इनिशिएटिव लिया है हमने। तो मैं अभिषेक
और मेरा नाम ऋषभ कुमार है। स्वागत करते हैं आपका आज के लाइव सेशन में।
हम्म, तो सबसे पहले तो मतलब बहुत ही बड़ा दिन है हम सबके लिए कि आज के दिन मतलब एक अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योगा दिवस जो हमारे भारत राष्ट्र से ही जुड़ा है, जो आज से ठीक 5 साल पहले जिसको मतलब पूरे वर्ल्ड ने जिसको अपनाया था, पूरी दुनिया ने अपनाया था, चाहे यूनाइटेड नेशन हो, यूएसए हो या पूरी दुनिया हो, जिसको जो योग हमारी एक राष्ट्रीय सभ्यता है उसको पूरी दुनिया ने माना था। तो योग एक ऐसी चीज है जो हम सबको, चाहे वो हमें शारीरिक हो या मानसिक हो, दोनों अवस्था में वो हमें बहुत ही ज्यादा मजबूत रखता है। क्या ऋषभ, क्या बोलना चाहेंगे आप?
बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने सर। योग जो चीज होती है वो आज से नहीं कई सालों से चली आ रही है और बहुत कुछ योग आपको सिखाता है। ये सिर्फ एक एक्सरसाइज नहीं है। ये एक थेरेपी कह सकते हो आप, एक क्यूरिंग डिजीज के लिए कुछ भी कह सकते हो। बहुत सारे इसमें वे होते हैं, बहुत सारे आसन होते हैं योग के। लेकिन सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट जो चीज़ है वो हिंदुस्तान की ये है कि योग को जिस वे में चाहे आप इंटरनेशनल योगा डे लें या फिर कोई भी डे लें, जिस वे से हमने इसे पूरे दुनिया को दिया और पूरी दुनिया ने जिस वे से एक्सेप्ट किया, वो बिल्कुल सराहनीय है। और आज के जो सेशंस होंगे, आज से लेके 10 दिन तक, स्पेड का सिर्फ एक ही मकसद है, हम भी अपना थोड़ा सा कंट्रीब्यूशन इंटरनेशनल योगा डे में दे सकें। और थैंक यू टू आवर टीम, ऑल द स्पेडियन, ऑल द प्राउड स्पेडियंस कि उन्होंने इतनी मेहनत की। आज हम उनके कारण इतना बड़ा इवेंट लेके आए हैं आप सबके सामने। और स्पेड की जो पाठशाला है, स्पेड की पाठशाला, उसका एक ही मकसद हमेशा रहता है कि लोगों को किस तरह से हम कुछ नया दे सकें, लोगों को किस तरह से हम एक बेहतर वे में जीना और अपने टैलेंट को बाहर निकालना। सो हम उस पर हमेशा फोकस करते हैं, जो कि हमारा मोटो है, डिग आउट द हिडन टैलेंट का। सो बेहतरीन वे है आप सबके लिए इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे आने का। और तमाम तरह की चीज़ें जो भी योगा से रिलेटेड है, 10 दिन का सेशन है, हर दिन अलग अलग टॉपिक के ऊपर है। हर दिन नया, सब नया, आपको कुछ नया सीखने को मिलेगा, हर दिन आपको कुछ नया जानने को मिलेगा। और आज जो हमारे साथ आप मेंटोर कह लो, आप योग गुरु कह लो, आप सर कह लो, टीचर कह लो, अ, मैं उन्हें कहता हूँ या फिर दुनिया उन्हें कहती है, अगर मैं कहूँ तो योग गुरु मोहन। तो मोहन सर आज हमारे साथ सेशन में रहेंगे। आज आप उनको कुछ ही देर में वो आप हमारे साथ लाइव आएंगे।
तो ऋषभ, मोहन सर के बारे में सब लोग जानना चाहते हैं क्योंकि जब से मोहन सर के बारे में मतलब सबको पता चला, जब से मोहन सर का वीडियो बाइट आया, तो बहुत सारे लोग जानने को इच्छुक हुए। बहुत सारे लोगों ने ये पूछा कि मोहन सर ने इतनी सब कुछ कैसे, मतलब योग को इतने बड़े लेवल पे मतलब पहुंचाने में कैसे मोहन सर ने सारी चीजों को इतने अच्छे से मेंटेन किया। अभी सर हमारे साथ लंदन से जुड़ने वाले हैं, सर के इंस्टीट्यूट इंडिया में भी हैं, पूरे दुनिया को योग सिखाते हैं। तो उनकी लाइफ जर्नी कैसी रही है ऋषभ?
अ, अगर मैं इंट्रोडक्शन दूं मोहन सर का, तो बस एक ही चीज़ कहना चाहता हूँ कि ब्रिलियंट आप कह सकते हो एक दिमाग को, लेकिन द डेडिकेशन, जो उनका डेडिकेशन है योग के प्रति, जो उनका इंथुजियाज्म है योग के प्रति, और जो एक चाह होती है लोगों की कि वो कुछ अच्छा दें दुनिया को। तो योग गुरु मोहन सर इज द फाउंडर ऑफ होलिस्टिक हेल्थ केयर फाउंडेशन। और उनके कई सारे इंस्टीट्यूट हैं, अलग अलग पूरे दुनिया में वो कई सारे थेरेपी देते हैं। और जो डिजीज होते हैं उसकी उनकी जो योग के वे है, जो उनका सिखाने का वे है, वो उसमें कोई भी साइड इफेक्ट नहीं होता, क्योंकि दे ऑल आर प्योरली बेस्ड ऑन द एक्सरसाइजेस। चाहे आप बात करें अपने फिजिकल की हेल्थ की या फिर आप बात करें अपने मेंटल हेल्थ की, सर ने उन तमाम चीज़ों पे बहुत प्रेस्टिजियस प्रेस्टिजियस इंस्टीट्यूशन पे लेक्चर्स लिए हैं। और बस आज वो हमारे साथ हैं, तो आज ये हमारा सौभाग्य है कि सर हमारे साथ जुड़े,
और सो भी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योगा दिवस पे,
और इतने इम्पोर्टेंट है जो कि आज अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योगा दिवस के अवसर पे। तो थैंक यू सर, आप हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, और बिल्कुल आप सबके लिए तुरंत ही सर आने वाले हैं लाइव, आप चिंता मत कीजिए।
और आज हम सबके लिए सौभाग्य है कि जो योगा का एक जो हमने सेशन स्टार्ट किया पिछले 10 दिनों का, तो आज आज सर हमारे साथ जुड़े। तो अब हम सर को बुलाते हैं, जिसके लिए सारे हमारे ऑडियंस वेट कर रही है। तो सर आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आज के सेशन।
धन्यवाद आप सभी को, खास करके इस ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम, जो ब्रिलियंट, डायनेमिक और ऊर्जा से भरे हुए टीम को, आप सबको मैं हृदय से नमन करता हूँ। और 6 इंटरनेशनल योग डे के इस पावन अवसर पर आप सबके साथ रूबरू होने का यह अवसर आप लोगों ने जुटाए हैं। और मैं सर्वप्रथम तो सभी को योग दिवस का एक तरह से हार्दिक मंगलमय और शुभकामना अर्पण करता हूँ, व्यक्त करता हूँ। और यह एक यात्रा है, इस यात्रा में आप सब सहभागी हो रहे हैं, हम सब के साथ जुड़ रहे हैं। आप सबको हृदय से नमन भी करता हूँ। और शुरू करें, और कुछ बाकी है कुछ आप लोगों की तरफ से? I think I should continue, I think. Okay. आज मैं आप लोगों के साथ योग के दर्शन को साझा करने वाला हूँ। योग एक जीवन शैली है, योग एक साइंस है, योग एक आर्ट है। और इस विद्या को हालांकि आदि योगी के द्वारा दिया गया है सप्तऋषियों को और माता पार्वती को, इस विद्या के बारे में जानकारी या शिक्षा योगेश्वर आदि योगी शिव ने प्रदान करे हैं। इसके बाद हम इस युग में योग को जिस रूप में देखते हैं, यहाँ तक पहुँचाने का बहुत बड़ा श्रेय जाता है महर्षि पतंजलि को। महर्षि पतंजलि ने योग विषय पर सबसे पुराना, एक तरह से अथॉरिटी के रूप में जिसको माना जाता है, ऐसा पुस्तक योग सूत्र अर्थात योग दर्शन या योग का दर्शन सूत्र के फॉर्म में लिख करके हमें प्रदान करें। अतः हम महर्षि पतंजलि को नमन करते हैं। एक मंत्र है ग्रेटिट्यूड ऑफर करने का। योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचम मलं शरीरश्च वैधकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतंजलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचं मलं शरीरस्य वैधकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतंजलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। पताञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि. We salute the greatest sage, Maharishi Patanjali, who gave us the science of yoga for the purification of the mind, and science of medicine for better health of the body, and grammar for purification of speech. ऐसे अद्भुत बहुमुखी प्रतिभा के धनी महर्षि पतंजलि मानव मात्र को आध्यात्मिक उन्नति के द्वारा अपने सभी, चाहे वो शारीरिक हों या मानसिक हों या भावनात्मक हों या आध्यात्मिक हों, सभी पक्ष को विकास करते हुए अल्टीमेटली जो हाईएस्ट गोल ऑफ ह्यूमन लाइफ जिसको कहा जाता है, सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन, गॉड रियलाइजेशन, अपने अंदर के उस परम सत्ता, परम तत्व, ईश्वरीय एग्जिस्टेंस को रियलाइज करना, अपने अंदर के ईश्वरीय ऊर्जा को रियलाइज और एक्सपीरियंस करना, जिससे हर तरह के लिमिटेशन से हम पार पा सके। यह एक अपने आप में बहुत चमत्कारिक विषय है। And to understand yoga, and as I can see and assume, very much young and dynamic people are joining today. So it is important to understand the subject in a best way possible, in a practical way possible, in a scientific way possible, so that you'll be able to adopt it, apply it, and help yourself to improve your personal experience at first. And once you experience the positive effect in your personal life, you'll be able to take it forward and help others to improve their life. Altogether, when we share the state of peace, bliss, joy and grace, and everlasting happiness, we'll be able to create a better world to live. So it is important to understand the whole things in a right perspective. By literal meaning, yoga is to unite. And you may have a question, what to unite with whom? Yoga is to unite yourself with yourself. Sorry. Yeah. The yoga is to unite yourself with yourself. It is a little tricky thing to understand. Let me simplify it. Our body is made of different dimensions. Even though we see this body from outside as a physical body, but inside this, there are different dimensions, different layers. Gross physical dimension of the body is visible from outside, but inside there is energy dimension. It has its own physiology and physiological mechanism, you can say. And there is another mental dimension working inside. There is intellectual dimension working inside. There is a spiritual dimension working inside. So there are 5 different dimensions working together to form our personality. Yoga is the practice to unite all that so that we'll be able to realize our true self. To make it even more simplified, if you dissect your body, you will find there are various opposite energy mechanism working inside. There is positive energy, there is negative energy. There is North Pole and there is South Pole. There is sympathetic system, there is parasympathetic system. In yogic terminology, we call it Ida and Pingala mechanism, Surya Sur and Chandra Sur. Purush energy means male energy and female energy. And different hormones, happy hormones and stress hormones. So many opposite mechanisms are working together to form this personality. If that goes one side, it creates imbalance. It creates difficulties, complications. And yoga is the practice. You can take it, you can call it art, you can call it science, you can call it science of living or art of living. It will help organize all, bring harmony, so that we'll be able to experience oneness, so that we'll be able to experience everlasting peace and happiness, bliss and joy. To understand it further, I suggest every one of you to memorize 3 definitions of yoga given in classical text. The first one is the definition given by Master Patanjali in Yoga Sutra, in which he says, Yogas chittavritti nirodha, means yogas chittavritti nirodha. Yoga is the practice to bring stillness or control in mental fluctuations or modifications or wheels of the mind. Our mind is constantly moving here and there. It is chanchal by nature. Because of that chanchalta, that fluctuation that keep coming in our mind, we cannot remain at peace and at silence. When that happens, we'll not be able to realize the true potentials that we all have. Yoga philosophy says we are made of God particle, God energy, ultimate source of knowledge and wisdom. That is within us. That is why it says, Yatha pinde tatha brahmande. Yatha brahmande tatha pinde. Both. Similarly, the Vedas says, Aham brahmasmi. मैं ब्रह्मा हूं, ब्रह्मा का अंश हूं. मेरे अंदर ब्रह्मांडीय ऊर्जा का सभी सीक्रेट्स है. मैं जब आया हूं तो इन्हीं ब्रह्मांडीय ऊर्जाओं से आया हूं. जब जाऊंगा तो इन्हीं ब्रह्मांडीय ऊर्जाओं के साथ लीन हो जाऊंगा. I am part of it. तत्वमसि. मैं तुम हूं. शिवोहम. मैं शिव हूं. ये सभी श्लोक कहते हैं कि हम एक तरह से पूरे ब्रह्मांडीय ऊर्जा का जो मैकेनिज्म है उसके अंश हैं, उसके साथ जुड़े हुए हैं और उसके सारे सीक्रेट्स हमारे अंदर ऑलरेडी इम्बाइब्ड है. और इसके अलग अलग परम्यूटेशन कॉम्बिनेशन एग्जिस्ट करते हैं डिपेंडिंग ऑन द सिचुएशंस दैट वी आर इन, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द learning experience that we have, depending on the karma sanskar that we develop, depending on association we develop in our life. These things trigger the activation of that latent hidden energy hidden knowledge and wisdom, and that will lead our life to a certain direction. So practice of yoga will optimize all that and lead to right direction, so that we'll be able to experience and utilize the true potential, that ultimate potential, we can say. So Maharishi Patanjali in his second slok said, in fact third slok, Tada drastu swarupe avasthanam. If that chitta vritti are achieved, control, we'll be able to achieve self-realization. Means we'll be able to utilize the godly potential in our life itself, so that we'll be able to optimize whole thing and achieve oneness with the eternal energy. And if that does not happen, in next slok, Maharishi Patanjali says, we will associate ourselves on the basis of input or perception that we gain, which are influenced by the vrittis. And there are 5 vrittis, Maharishi Patanjali says, which are actually ultimate source of all sort of miseries or the sorrows. The vrittis are pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smarataya. Pramana means there are 3 different sources of pramana. One is pratyaksha pramana, other one is anumana pramana, other one is agam pramana, means shastriya pramana. Viparyaya is mithya gyan. Vikalpa means our false perception, our judgment, without understanding things properly. When we make judgment, most of the time, it leads to unstable state of mind, lead to fluctuating state of mind. Pramana, viparya, vikalpa, nidra means lack of awareness state that we live most of the time. And smritaya means smriti. Most of the time, people live in a memory, not in present time. Always remain influenced by the past experiences and the memory engrams stored in the mind. And that lead to excessive activation of sensory system even more, leading to the source of pain and misery that are called pancha klesha, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesa, vinivesa. Avidya means lack of knowledge. When you are not having proper knowledge about the law of nature, law of creation, law of life, science of living, science of eating, science of thinking, you tend to make more mistakes. And if you keep making mistakes, obviously you have to face the results after it. But if you start practicing oneness, developing sense control and fluctuating vritti, you will be able to feel with godly energy which start working, being organized within, and that will help achieve lesser conflict, lesser pain and misery. Avidya, asmita means ego. When it goes beyond control, it is negative ego. Raga and dvesa, excessive attachment and excessive hatred, and fear of death. These things keep creating pressure in our mind, creating fear in our mind, that lead to stress, anxiety, depression, and suicidal tendency and whatnot. All these need to be controlled so that we'll be able to channelize all the godly potential that we already imbibe, which are mostly latent, not awakened because of the vritti. And by controlling vritti, we can awaken our latent positive qualities and transform ourselves. And when we move in this process, step by step, once we achieve results one by one, these things will work as an armor and help us gain even more strength to move ahead with even better focus, strength, stamina, intensity, clarity, with vivid clarity. This is how it goes. In next stage, Maharishi Patanjali said, if you want to transform your life, you have to achieve result in every steps that you work or involve into. For that, you need to unite all the sensory system in whatever work that you are engaged into. That will give you perfection. It is beautifully explained in Bhagavad Gita by Yogeshwar Krishna. Yoga karma sukhausala. Perfection in action is yoga. And when you start making endeavor to do things in a perfect way possible, in this process you may face hardship because everything is not smooth outside. To make it smooth and move ahead, you need to make hard choices, tough choices, make continuous effort. In this process, you may find situation being very much unpleasant, unexpected, difficult, many a times. And Yogeshwar Sri Krishna says, these difficulties that we have to face in our life are blessing in disguise. These things will help us grow even more stronger from inside and get acclimatized so that next time that problem will not cause any problem, any difficulties whatsoever. So that all the problems which are creating barrier to the other people are not stopping you at all. You can just keep moving and moving and moving in a right direction, achieving everything that you wanted to achieve. And ultimately, once you achieve everything, as there is a theory of like hierarchy theory of Maslow that says once a person achieve basic need, security related need like food, shelter and clothes, and after that the person will move to next stage. That may includes health, recreation and entertainment related requirement. Person will start making effort for that. Once these things are achieved, after that the person may think about future security. He or she may think that the comfort or that arrangement that I have made for now should remain in my future also. For that, the person may start thinking about security, future security. For that, saving and all arrangement may be made. And after that, if that also is done, person may start thinking about gaining name and fame, respect and appreciation from outside. For that, person start being thoughtful and being careful and caring to other people of the society or the surrounding. If that is also done, the next stage is having greater fame. For that, person need to be even more inspirational and influential. For that, the capacity of expression need to be better. And to improve their expression, person need to make right effort, obviously. But when a yogic techniques are applied, all distractions are reduced, and using that ultimate potential energy and the wisdom and knowledge in harmony, these things can be achieved better. And after that, the name and fame and recognition become normal thing because of that higher and impressive way of expression that is achieved with this simple process of transformation. If that is also achieved, then the person will start thinking about global wellness and well-being beyond personal limit and limitation. And start working to influence not only for the self, but for the humanity, global wellness, universal wellness. And ultimately, a person move to a spiritual awakening, self-realization. And this is the journey that goes. If we face difficulties with positive approach, with yogic approach, then the person will be able to move ahead. For that, Yogeshwar Sri Krishna explained, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Whatever difficulties that comes in your life, face it with positive state of mind, positive approach. Every difficulties that you're having in your life are lesson, are steps, stepping stone. Just use it that way. Do not shy away. Face it with positive state so that you will be able to acclimatize, you will be able to awaken your hidden energy to tolerate, to be able to tolerate the resistance of that pressure-giving or problem-giving situation. And once you overcome it, next time these sort of problems are no longer a problem for you. This is how you will be able to move ahead in your life journey. These things are explained there. So these three definitions, as I mentioned in the beginning, yogas chitta vritti nirodha, yoga karma sukausalam, and samatvam yoga uchyate. These are the three definitions we should use as a mantra of life. Yoga karma sukausalam is very important. Do everything in the best way possible. Even if you are sweeping, cleaning, clean in the best way possible so that next time for the same work, no other person has to come and work. Or for that matter, next time you don't have to do the same cleaning again. If you're writing, write in such a way so that next time you don't have to read it again and write it again. Write in the best way possible. If you are working in your office, work in such a way so that for the same task, no other person has to come and do it again. And once you start working in this way, it is called, in yogic terminology, we call it karma sukausalam state. Yoga karma sukausalam. That is actually yoga in itself, in which all your sensory system are working together for a specific work, being free from distraction. And these three mantras, when applied in routine life, it will take us to a state of transformation. In that situation, whatever we do, whatever work we engage into, will give us best possible result, and that best possible result will make us happy. Our internal system start functioning better with a state of happiness, with no stress, no strain, no pressure, no anxiety, no depression, everlasting peace and happiness, joy, and bliss. So this is a wonderful thing that we need to follow. And next is, to move in this journey, Mahasi Patanjali explained that you have to practice consistently with consistency for long term. It is not one day thing. It need to be practiced as a part of life, way of life, science of life or science of living, art of life or living, art of living you can say. And while doing this, you may find difficulties. Mahasi Patanjali explained. You may have physical difficulties, you may have mental difficulties, your breath may become swallow, or you may feel breathlessness, agitations, pain, misery, and whatnot. And when these situations are there, Mahasi Patanjali says, focus on one point. All these negative perception will go away. If it is not happening, surrender to God. God is not that statue or individual or these things. God is actually the everlasting and ultimate source of knowledge and wisdom, which is governing whole thing, which is generating things, which is operating things, which is destroying the old things and replacing it with new creation. And to do that, there is a wisdom or the intellect working behind. For example, from a fetus, small fetus start from a small cells, right? And from that small cells, or even in a plant, from a small seed, it starts from the seed or the cell and gradually grow and grow and grow and form different part. And these different parts are assigned different duties and responsibilities. And these duties and responsibilities are fulfilled by these organs. And it is not like it is about just one, it is not about single organ or unit. Same thing happen like when life cycle is start, every single fetus start life from the cell and gradually form the whole body, and there are different organs formed, and different organs work differently for different purpose, whatever duties are assigned to them. In all life, same thing happens. And that is happening because of the intellect they are already having, which is actually guiding them to do a specific work in a specific way. And that guiding intellect or knowledge or the wisdom is Ishwarya wisdom. In yoga, when we say Ishwara, we talk about that ultimate source of knowledge and wisdom. Surrender to that. In layman term, you can call it law of nature. Surrender to the law of nature. When you will start working in a right way, in a right manner, even if you are not getting result, don't get disheartened. Law of nature is not partial. It is impartial. It will do the justice as required, as relevant. So continue making your right endeavor, and result whatever you deserve will come of its own. इसीलिए कहते हैं कि कर्म योग में कार्य करो, फल की आशा मत करो, काम करते जाओ, परिणाम तो आपको मिलना ही. If you are doing right work, positive work, you are going to get positive result. If you do wrong thing, even if you are not getting result in short time, ultimately you are going to get that result. So always be very clear about it. Sometime, what happens, we do some wrong thing and don't get caught. And we feel that we are escaped. That is not so. Because law of nature is there. That is governing everything. All these things are connected to you in the form of karma sanskara, we call it. And when these things come into action, these things will certainly play a role. So you just follow the scientific path. And when you move next, Master Patanjali says, you will face major 9 obstacles. These 9 obstacles are called antaraya in yoga. Pramadal, Vyadi Stayan Samsay Pramadalasya Virati Bhranti Darsan Alabdha Bhumi Katva Anvasti Tattvani Antaraya Chitta Viche Paste Antaraya. These are Vyadhi, Stayan, Samsay, Pramad, Alasya, Virati, Bhranti Darsan, Alavdu Bhumikatva, Anvasti Tattva. These are the 9 Antaraya. Means obstacles of yoga. It is natural, we have to face it. And when you face it with consistent effort, practicing oneness, mindfulness, and practice of contemplation of that godly wisdom or the manifestations. Om is actually considered the manifesting sound of the creation of the nature, because the godly creation. So contemplation of these things, godly things, positive things, will help us connect to that godly energy, and that will help us awaken that positive energy within. That will help us ultimately overcome these obstacles. Along with that, Maharishi Patanjali suggests Maitri, Karuna, Mudito, Upeksha. These 4 principles are suggested by Maharishi Patanjali to follow. Do friendship with successful people, happy people. Don't get, negative seeing other people being happy and successful. कई बार लोग दूसरे को सक्सेस देख करके जलने लगते हैं. Don't do that. Maharishi Patanjali suggests you have to follow friendship with this sort of people. And next it says, Karuna. आर्त जो है, जो दुखी है, दरिद्र है, underprivileged है, help them, be kind to them. And if there is a competent people, intellectual, laureate type people, be respectful and respect them. Respect their talent. This will help you imbibe that positive qualities within. And if there is evil-minded people, try to minimize the contact. You don't need to become enemy to evil people. It may lead to problem and even consequences. So just try ignoring. Means upeksha bhav. These things will help channelize your energy in a right direction. If you do not follow this, it becomes a little difficult because your energy get distracted and achieving ultimate goal become a little difficult. So after that, Maharishi Patanjali explained, once you follow all this, you will be able to achieve a state of samadhi. He explained there are 2 types of samadhi, sampragyat samadhi and asampragyat samadhi. Means samadhi in which you have a certain level of thought and mental influence, and samadhi which is completely in a liberated state in which you are one with God energy or self-realized state or liberated state. So these things are explained by Maharishi Patanjali. And to move in this direction of self-transformation, Maharishi Patanjali has given path of Ashtanga Yoga, in which he explained Yama and Niyama, Asana and Pranayama, these four things in particular as part of Vahiranga Yoga. And after that, Pratyahara as a connecting part between Bahiranga and next one, Antaranga Yoga, which includes Dharana, Dhyana and Samadhi. Maharishi Patanjali explained that asana, yama and niyama are also very important. I think it will take a little long time, so I'll just make it a little fast and specific. Like in yama, there are 5 yama. Satya, ahimsa, asteya, aparigraha, brahmacharya. Be truthful to yourself. If you speak untruthful or lie to other, it will not harm that second person, but it will harm you. In your mind, you know that you are lying. To ensure that your lie is not exposed, you have to keep repeating that lie in your mind. You need to memorize it. Unnecessary, you keep burden. You create burden to your mind and in physiological level, in your brain and nervous system. A pressure, a work which is not required. If your mind keep engaging or repeating or recalling that negative or lie, your whole system get exhausted over the period of time. And that is happening just because of carelessness. If we follow truthfulness, this is not going to harm at all to the practitioner of truth. कई बार लोग झूठ इसीलिए बोलते हैं कि झूठ से फायदा हो जाता है, लेकिन रियल में ट्रूथ से ज्यादा फायदा होता है और इसको फॉलो करनी चाहिए. एंड नेक्स्ट वन इज अहिंसा. वायलेंस इज नॉट गुड फॉर एनीवन. अगर मेरे ऊपर कोई वायलेंस करता है तो मुझे पसंद नहीं है, मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता. मेरे को कोई काटता है, मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता. मेरे को कोई गलत बोलता है, मुझे अच्छा नहीं लगता. इफ I don't like violence upon me, how can I do violence to other? अगर मेरे को काट करके कोई खा ले, मेरे को स्वीकार नहीं है, मेरे को अच्छा नहीं लगता, मैं पूरे जी जान से प्रतिकार करूंगा, और मैं दूसरे को काट करके खा रहा हूं तो मेरे को, और वो भी तो वायलेंट के करने की कोशिश करेगा. अगर वो नहीं कर पाता है तो उसके जो माइंड में नेगेटिव इमोशंस क्रिएट होते हैं, these things will mix into blood stream, create negative emotion there, and when we eat that negative energy, obviously that will impact our physical, physiological and mental aspect. It is a good idea. This is why in yoga it is suggested, try avoiding violence, follow the non-violence. This is what is the reason. It will help bring a state of peace in mind. And next one is satya, ahimsa, asteya. चोरी नहीं करना. Everyone knows चोरी करना अच्छी बात नहीं है, but sometimes unknowingly we take the right of other people. That also create mental guilt. That also, if other person realize it and resist it, that will lead conflict. Even if that reaction is not coming, we may have a sort of mental guilt. Even if that is not happening, on the basis of karma yoga principle, these things will connect in the karma samskara, and we have to bear the brunt. So it is good idea. Be truthful and don't capture others' thing, or don't steal others' properties or assets, whatever. Aparigraha, greed is never ending. We everyone know that. Like अगर किसी एक छोटे बच्चे के पास साइकिल नहीं है तो वो साइकिल खरीद करके बहुत खुश होने का कल्पना करता है। एंड व्हेन ही गेट साइकिल, देखेगा आसपास में दूसरे लोग मोटरसाइकिल में घूम रहे हैं, मोटरसाइकिल अगर मिल जाए तो क्या आनंद आ जाता, कितना खुश हो जाते। एंड व्हेन दैट मोटरसाइकिल कम्स, मोटरसाइकिल में घूम रहा है, देख रहा है उसके आसपास के लोग, उसके फ्रेंड सर्कल के लोग तो अच्छे कार में घूम रहे हैं। व्हेन द कार इज देयर, उसके बाद देखता है कि दूसरे लोग उससे भी अच्छे वाले कार में घूम रहे हैं। एंड दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ प्रोसेस keep going. It is never ending. So it is important to learn to remain content. And when we remain content, we'll be able to organize our energy in a right way and make right effort. And when we make a right effort, according to law of nature, we'll get the result. Surely and certainly, this is what is Karma Yoga principle. On the basis of that, we're going to get the result that we deserve. And other one is Brahmacharya, means preserve your ultimate energy, life producing energy, sex energy in layman terminology. If you explore it in detail, you say Brahma plus Acharya, there are two words. Brahma means Brahmanda, universal existence. Acharya means Jnata, being Jnata of the universal existence and working accordingly. Means leading your life according to law of nature. And when you do that, obviously your energy is preserved, organized, optimized, and you will be able to do whatever work that you are engaged into in a right way, in a best way possible, achieving result whatever is the best possible. So this is how transformation will begin. And after that he says there are 5 niyama: Soch, Santosha, Tapa, Swadhyay, Sur, Prani, Dhanani, Niyama. Means make sure you clean yourself physically at first. External and internal hygiene is important. And after that, there are even deeper layer of cleansing, including mind and emotion, removing negative thought, removing fear-driven emotions. And Santosha is being content to the things that you have got. It has great value to help you remain at positive state. And after that, tapa is very important. Making right endeavor, continuous, dutiful endeavor is important. This will help us move ahead in the journey, life journey. And after that, it is important to do contemplation, self-study. Swadhyaya we call it. And for that, the source includes contemplation, meditation, study of the authentic literatures, and satsang of the learned people. Means having interaction with the learned people will be able to learn these secrets and transform our life. And after that he says asana. Asana are achieving a state of ease and comfort in whatever difficult situation, that is asana. Sthiram Sukham Asana, this is how Maharishi Patanjali explained. And after that, he says, to achieve that state of comfort in asana, he says, Priyatna Saithilya Ananta Samapatibhyam, means make effort and remain relaxed, calm, cool, and focus your attention on godly energy working within and out, which is never ending. अनंत, जो शरीर के अंदर अनंत चल रहा है, शरीर के अंदर श्वास का प्रोसेस अनंत है, शरीर के अंदर वाइटल सिस्टम काम कर रहे हैं, वो अनंत है. जब तक हम जिंदा है तब तक चले रहे हैं, हमें पता भी नहीं होता they are working. So be aware of these things. And once you realize so many things happening inside, mostly we are not aware. Once you start being aware of it, you will start finding reason to be happy about. कई बार लोगों को अपने जीवन में खुश होने के कोई कारण मिलते ही नहीं है, तभी लोग डिप्रेशन में चले जाते हैं और आगे कुछ रास्ता दिखाई नहीं देता, डिप्रेसिव हो जाते हैं, सुसाइडल बन जाते हैं। अगर हम अपने अंदर देखें तो इतनी सारे अद्भुत चीजें प्रकृति ने चला रखा है, जो ब्रह्मांड के पूरे सीक्रेट्स हमारे अंदर ही डाल रखा है, उसको भी हम रियलाइज ना कर पाए और उस पोटेंशियल को यूटिलाइज करने का एक तरह से डिटैच अप्रोच डेवलप ना कर सकें, तो फिर तो कौन हेल्प कर सकेगा? So to help ourselves, we have to understand the godly grace that we are receiving every moment. तो इसीलिए महर्षि पतंजलि कहते हैं प्रयत्न, क्योंकि दर्द होता है कोशिश करते समय, उस समय आप रिलैक्स रखो अपने आप को, फिर उसके बाद जो पॉजिटिव क्वालिटीज काम कर रहे हैं उसको फील करो, कुछ ही समय में शरीर उसको एक्लेमेटाइज कर लेगी. इट इज great quality gifted by the nature acclimatization. Using that quality or the capacity, we can improve our life and experience. And after that, there is pranayama. Pranayama is breath control technique to start with. Ultimately, it will help us regulate and optimize our prana. When we control our prana, its effects and efficiency get improved. When we learn to control our breath, our system will learn to work with minimum oxygen with maximum output because of the control in distraction. And Mahasi Patanjali has explained 4 different techniques of pranayama, which includes breath retention after inhalation, breath retention after exhalation, and breathing in process, breathing out process, and retaining breath wherever and whenever you want. Vishay Chepi. Bhayabhantar Vishay Chepi is the name. Means ultimately breath control is very important. A normal healthy human being breathes around 15 to 17 breaths per minute. Those who are breathing around 15 to 17 breaths per minute are using just around 25 to 40% capacity of the lungs according to scientific studies. And when there is a passive area, that will degenerate faster. There is a law of nature, we call it use it or lose it. If we are not using our system properly, the passive area will degenerate faster. Wastage will get accumulated, deposited over the period of time. The spongy nature of the lungs get reduced and hardness may come. That may lead to breathing problem, because to contract and breathe out completely, lungs need to be spongy and easily be able to easily contract it. If there is hardness, it is not going to happen. When that happen, we will not be able to breathe in because the breath that is inside has not gone away. So in that case, there is no space, so we cannot breathe in. This sort of conditions lead to breathlessness. We call it asthma and bronchitis sort of conditions. To prevent that, to improve, optimize state, to improve optimum flow of oxygen, that is essential for cellular energy production process. We call it metabolic activities. Our self-produced energy out of nutrition that we have eaten with the help of that oxygen. And when that oxygen helps to burn out nutrients, wastage in the form of wastage, carbon dioxide is produced. In the form of SS, metabolic wastage or cellular wastage are produced. These things are removed. In the process of exhalation, carbon dioxide goes away. And this process is continuous process. Even when we are not aware of it, nature is working on it itself. So when we practice pranayama, we'll optimize this, and it is going to help us stabilize not only our body, but also mind and emotion. All our physical and physiological mechanisms start getting optimized. It is wonderful and greatest technique given by our ancestor after their thoughtful consideration and experimentation in the form of sutra like formulae of modern terminology. And these things are so powerful, effective, and tested and prove effective even after critical clinical trials by international scientists. So this is the power of yogic methodology. That is the reason it is surviving even after so many tough time of invasion and all that. And after pranayama, there are techniques like pratyahara, means sense control. If our sensory system control our mind become restless, because आंखों को जो देखने में अच्छा चीज चाहिए, नाक को सूंघने में अच्छा चीज चाहिए, स्किन को छूने में सॉफ्ट मुलायम चीज चाहिए, कान को सुनने में अच्छे अच्छे चीजें चाहिए, अच्छे अच्छे आवाज एप्रिसिएशन चाहिए. अब ये सारा हमेशा नहीं मिलता. In a realistic approach, we have to face hardship and then grow stronger. अगर हम ये अच्छा जो चाहिए इनको अपने खुराक इसी के पीछे भागने लग जाते हैं तो we'll become restless. So we need to develop control over it. That is why Pratyahara is given as important practice, which will actually connect our internal and external system. And after that, Dharana means practice of concentration, means focusing all sensory system to a specific work so that sensory distraction will reduce and we'll be able to utilize all our potential to produce result in whatever work that we are engaged into. That is what is the purpose of pranayama. After that, there is a dhyana, which is the practice which will help organize all our inner potential. There are 3 different ways of doing meditation. We meditate on external or internal objects. That is called Sthula Dhyan. We meditate on light. That is called Jyoti Dhyan. We meditate on subtle impulses or soul realization. That is called Sukshma Dhyan. Jyoti Dhyan, that Sthula Dhyan is really powerful, but Jyoti Dhyan is 100 times powerful than Sthula Dhyan. Similarly, Sukshma Dhyan is 100 times powerful than Jyotir Dhyan. This is how it is explained. And once we follow all these, our whole experience will improve. To apply this in our regular life, we can just make sure we do very much, simple and easy routine. We follow simple and easy routine. For that, we can start with activation of every body parts. We call it Sukshma Vyayam. We ensure that detoxification process is proper and active. For that, there are 9 doors of detoxification in our body, like anus and genital 2, mouth 3, 2 nose, 4, 5, 2 eyes, 6, 7, 2 ear, 8, 9. These 9 doors are doors of detoxification. And when we take proper rest, our body will do its maintenance process and bring all the wastage to excretionary door, and we have to ensure that these doors are cleaned properly and these doors are active enough and vibrant enough to operate their function. For that, there are Sat Kriya in yoga. These things may need supervision to start with, but after micro movement of the joints, we can move to Sthul Vyayam, we call it Surya Namaskar, and different type of traditional overall body exercise, including Danda and Baitak and running, jogging, these sort of exercise. And after that, there are various asanas we can practice, which will help stabilize the body, improve our alignment, improve our awareness, increase our strength and stamina. It will help bring toning and trimming effects in the body. And after that, doing relaxation is very important, which will help organize our stress mechanism in particular, which will help our system to produce happy hormones, and healing and repairing and maintenance process normally happens better when we are relaxed. And after that, practice of breathing exercise will help increase energy efficiency. And after that, practice of meditation will help bring oneness, organizing all inner potential and helping us to connect to the ultimate secrets of creation, secrets of life and living. And that is actually giving a connection or developing connection to the hidden ultimate energy that is godly energy. And once we start remaining in that state, that is called samadhi. So samadhi is little big things, but up to meditation, we all can practice, achieve, experience, utilize, and help us achieve a state of peace, joy, grace, and blessing. And when we achieve that inside, we'll be able to radiate that outside. As a result, we'll become the source of peace and happiness, joy, and bliss or blessing to the people around wherever we go. This should be our life mantra. I think this is all for today. If you have any question, you can ask.
Yes, sir. There are a lot of questions from the audience.
You're asking for therapy, right? Asking about therapy?
Yes, sir.
Yoga therapy.
Yes, I am asking that what is the difference between therapy and a therapeutic diagnosis?
Okay. Actually, the first point we need to be very clear. Yoga is more of self-awareness, self-transformation, and self-realization. But still, to achieve that, it is important that all our physical, mental, emotional system function at par. So it is prerequisite. That is the reason yogi designed yogic practice in such a way that it addresses all health concern and achieve best health possible. So practice of yoga is effective to optimize everything related to life. That is the reason we can apply it anywhere, including we can apply it as a therapy. So to apply therapy, as I mentioned, yoga actually works in a holistic way. It does not work like medicine, in which there are different medicine for different problems. Yoga works in a holistic way. Even if you have a specific problem like digestive system related problem, and you want to practice yoga to achieve therapeutic effect for the digestive system. Obviously, digestive system means it is the process in which you eat food and that is digested, and after digestion, nutrients are absorbed and transferred into blood, and wastage are removed from the food pipe in the form of a stool. This whole process is a digestive process. And with the practice of yogic technique in which we focus more on peristaltic movement and proper hydration, proper activation, and proper activation of detox organs, this will help facilitate detoxification process after proper absorption. For that, we give bring activation effect in the digestive system and relax them. And as a result, the food that is there is mixed properly into digestive enzymes produced there, and that remaining food particle is moved down because of the movement, and it reaches down to rectus region, and as a quantity become like volume become good enough, person feel urge to remove and body remove it out. This will not only help in digestive system, this whole process will work on respiratory system, circulatory system, nervous system, muscular system, skeletal system all together, because the whole process is helping in the process of activation, circulation, nourishment, detoxification, resistance, and relaxation. And that principle will apply for the therapeutic effect in every part of the body. In this way, yogic therapy works in a holistic sense and help us to achieve holistic result in almost every system, helping in almost every system, no matter whatever may be the problem that you are facing, it will work everywhere and work in a best way possible. I think this address your question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I hope the audience will get this question. The next question from the audience is, what is yoga synergy?
What is yoga synergy you were saying, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, practice of yoga, as I explained already, most of the answer is already covered there. Still, I try to simplify it. Yoga actually is a science which will simply bring oneness in all the dimension, from gross physical to energy to mental to emotional to intellectual to spiritual. When all these dimensions are organized and harmonized and move ahead in a synchronization, in a harmony, this is what is actually the synergy that we experience and achieve with the practice of yoga. It is what is important. So when you practice yoga, your target is not only about building physical strength, not only about treating a specific disease. It is about whole thing. It is about wholeness, holistic wellness. So this is what is the important point that we can understand as a yogic synergy. And this can be applied anywhere in any concern, any problem. Whatever problem that you have, since it is working in a holistic way in every system possible, all together in a harmony, in a coordination, in a balance, in a rhythm. So if you want to improve memory, the same thing will work. If you want to improve your muscle strength, the same thing will work. So this is how it works. I think it is our time. I have another schedule. Other webinar is there, and they have started calling, I think. So
thank you very much, sir.
We have to complete here. Thank you very much. If there are any more questions, kindly write down the questions, and even in that YouTube chat box, I can reply later on.
Sure, sir. So we will take each and every question from the audience, and the audience will also get their answer from you, sir. And thank you very much, sir, for joining us in this session. This was a great session, sir. From all the Spade team, I thank to you for joining this session, and from all the audience, thank you very much, sir. On this auspicious day of International Day of Yoga, we are pleased to hear such a great session from you, sir. Thank